Hi, my name is Jordon Wong. I'm pastor of at Almaden Neighborhood Church and standing right here at Ohlone Court Apartments. And I want to share with you some of our journey of how we began partnering with CityTeam for the mobile food pantry. A couple years ago, Finney Abraham reached out to me and said, would you guys be interested in doing a mobile food pantry? I said, I don't even know what that is. I said, we don't have space at our church to do a pantry. He said, no, you're going to go to the people and you're going to bring the food to where the people need it. I said, well, this is something we can do. This is like right at the tail end of the pandemic, and we were wanting to be more involved in the community. And so I met with Hermie and folks from CityTeam. They shared with us about how this was a partnership with Second Harvest and how they had all the food, they had the trucks, they just needed people to deliver it. And thought, well, we have people, we don't have money, we don't have space as a church, but we have people and we can do this. So we checked it out, and I went to our church community and I said, hey guys, I can't do this alone as a pastor, and I don't have the bandwidth to like move this forward, but if this is something that you want to do, let me know. You guys step up and you're going to lead this. And so we had folks from our church that stepped up and said, yes, we're going to be a part of this. And so twice a month, we come right here to folks that up to this point we had never met before. There's folks of different backgrounds and ethnicities that we don't even have that many of in our church. We have a lot of Persian, Assyrian, Ethiopian here in this place. And so actually I put out there one Sunday when we were starting this, and I said, we need people who are Farsi speakers, and we don't have very many in our church, so if you know someone, let them know. That Sunday, there was a man who was attending the church for the very first time. He came up to me and he said, Pastor, honestly, I'm not sure we're going to come back to this church. Like, we're looking around for different churches, but I'm a Farsi speaker. I feel God's calling me to be a part of this. And so he's been a part of our pantry team every time since then. And they ended up coming to our church as well. We found that that engaging our folks and allowing them this opportunity to be involved has been so fruitful. We're a small church. Anything that we do is something that everybody's got to be a part of. And folks have stepped up to be a part of it, even if it's a bit out of their comfort zone. I want to bring in one of my friends, Lyndon. Lyndon, come on over. Lyndon has been a part of our pantry ministry since near the beginning. Can you share a little bit? Why did you volunteer to start being a part of the food pantry?
Well, I was interested in practical ministries, even back to my college days. But then for many, many years, with kids and everything else, it just wasn't a priority. And then when the church started this up, my wife actually reminded me like this was something that I was always interested in, but I didn't have that opportunity. And so it was time to get involved. And I started maybe about 2 months into the ministry. It had already started, and I was kind of intermittent. It was convenient to come, but not always. And so I didn't make it a priority. But then over time, it just grew to be more of a priority and a commitment, and now it's really the first thing on my calendar and not the last thing on my calendar. And like all ministries, I find that really it's not really just about serving the people, but it also grows myself. It's been fun to get to know people, both on the team, but also the ones we serve. We've gotten to know them, they invite us in, and they're our friends. And so it's just exercising spiritual muscles and growing in my own walk.
One of our friends walking by. Hey, can you share, just as you think about it, you've been doing this for about 2 years now, of going twice a month. Any highlights that stand out to you of interactions or moments that help remind you of why you keep coming back?
Well, we were invited once in by a family. The grandmother had recently had knee surgery, and we were just there, I think, give some support to her, emotionally, friendship, but also it was a fun time as we were having tea with her, and her grandson was there, and then I was helping him with some Legos, and we just had a really good time assembling Legos. So that was really fun.
That's awesome. It's not what you think when you're going to deliver food, that you're going to be sitting on the floor playing Legos with kids, but just being present. And I think that's one of the great things, just your consistency and being present in the lives of the folks here. Thanks for being a part of it, Lyndon. I want to switch over and bring Astelina over here. This is Astelina Penner. She and her husband Hartmut were one of the ones that stepped up right away and said, we're going to organize this and be team leads. And Astelina has been above and beyond as we go here. One of the things that we do is we bring food to these residents here, about 50 residents that we bring, about 50 homes that we visit. And we bring the food there, but really it's the relationships that are built. So Astelina, can you tell us some of your experience. Maybe again, first, why did you start being a part of this ministry, and why do you keep coming back?
Why do I start? Because I love to get to know new people and new culture. That's me, because coming from another country, it just for me is interesting, and God tells us to love people and give from our time. So I thought that was going to be a good opportunity.
Awesome. And then, so that was your expectations, and then how did that play out? What has your experience been like coming in so many times?
Oh, the experience has been great. Every time you come with like, are they going to be home? Are they going to open the door? How are they going to be feeling? Are they going to smile? Or, and for me, this is like every time I come and deliver is a part of this history that I'm going, as the story that I'm building up with God.
That's awesome. And you've been building relationships. I mean, there's so many stories that we could tell of the relationships you built. I mean, there's one family with a single mom with 4 kids that we helped to be able to give resources to be able to help them. And then also you even invited them to be able to come to the Vacation Bible School and the Easter event. Can you share a little bit of your relationship with that mom and those kids?
Yes. When she first came and talked to me, telling about her needs and the problems she was going through, so it just touched my heart, and we got like closer, and we talk and we smile and we hug every time. And whenever I invite her to church, she is willing or trying to come. So yes, it's great.
That's awesome. And I'm also thinking of another lady that we would go to. And one time, Second Harvest and City Team had fish, and we gave her fish. And then there was no more after that. It was always chicken. And every time she asked, "Can I have fish?" And I remember you and I, at first, we didn't know her name, and together we would just call her Fish Lady. But then we got to know her and some of the other residents. Can you share and then the fish was no longer available. Share what you did with that.
Oh, well, I had brought fish because coming to the Ohlone Court in the morning, I stopped at Safeway and bought a bunch of bags of fish, and I had one for myself too. So at the end, I just opened the box and gave the fish away.
That's awesome. So it wasn't provided. You brought it yourself because you knew it was something that they want.
Was telling me, buy one more. That's it.
Yes, and I remember, just seeing their faces to know, we're not just giving them whatever we have, but really we know what they want. It's personal. And there's another couple I think of that. Every day we would go and the man would be there, and we could smell what the wife was cooking. And then he kept saying, "Oh, one day she'll cook for you." And then can you share what happened after that?
Yes, every time we would deliver the food, he would really smell good. And I would talk about food because food is something that I know about. So, and I would just give compliments how good it smells and what were they cooking. And he said, "Oh, just eggs." And a couple weeks later, he said, "Astalina, come here. I'm going to tell you something. We are planning to invite you guys for eggs because you like eggs so much." And I said, "How come I like eggs so much?"
Did you say it every day?
Because the smell was the eggs that you figure. And I was like, yes. And he invited us, the whole group, the 15 people that were there, outside in front of his patio, with a big breakfast with eggs and teas, and it was delicious. And the communication, what we talked about it, like for the minutes we stayed there, the half an hour, I don't remember, was just great. So everybody getting to know each other, we knowing him, his wife, and we knowing the group, each other, it was just great.
Awesome. And then because he invited us, we said, "Hey, we're going to have a lunch at our church." And so even though he's Muslim background, he didn't come to the church service, but he came to the luncheon afterwards because he fed us and we fed him, and that's how the culture works. Astalina, thank you so much for sharing with us. And I just want to say thank you to City Team and Second Harvest for allowing us and our church to be a part of this. And want to encourage any of you pastors that are considering being a part of a ministry like this to know that it's transformative, not just for our community, but for our churches itself. And the changes that I've seen in us as a church, to be able to see the people that are involved coming in consistently. I was afraid that we wouldn't be able to keep doing it, that we didn't have enough people, that it was going to fall along the wayside, or it was just going to be a burden on me as a pastor to keep pushing it. But once our folks got a taste of this, we have people that are advocating and bringing more people in. Having the opportunity to serve others changes our church. And I know for me as a pastor, I'm always wanting to serve my church, but when I give them an opportunity to serve, that's real discipleship and that's real growth. And we're seeing the relationships that people are forming. We've had people who are not believers, they come to visit our church, they hear about what we're doing, and they're joining us, and we're getting to know them. They're growing in discipleship, and they're coming to know more about Jesus because we're serving alongside together. So this has been an incredible opportunity for us to be able to meet people we never would have met before. The incredible folks here at this apartment complex are now a part of our church family as well. So we're grateful to be a part of this. Would encourage you to try out being a mobile food pantry and see what God will do in you and through you. Happy birthday, happy birthday.
What's his name? Mose. Happy birthday